Hi everyone, and welcome to the Pup Mommy. This is a channel where it's all about the pups. As I share with you my over 30 years of practical hands-on experience of what it's like to own, care for, and love dogs. So whether you're a first-time dog owner, a wannabe dog owner, or an experienced dog owner, I'm here to be a practical resource by offering suggestions and advice when you're wondering, am I the only one with this problem? Or does your dog do this? Or how do I find the right dog for myself or me and my family? So this video is actually the third in an 8-part series. Well, hello there. Would you like to come up? Yes, you love being in the program. You do. I know you do. Oh. So again, this is the third in an 8-part series to puppy or not to puppy, that deals with 8 questions that I ask and you answer to help you decide if you're really ready for that puppy. So if you're about to hit that adopt button or relatively new to the process, take a few minutes and go through some of these Q&A videos with me. And I promise you that by the end of going through them, you should honestly be able to answer whether or not you're ready. And I mean really ready for that puppy. Yes. So today we have question 3. Have you done your homework as to what breed of pup is right for you and your family? You know, yeah. Oh, you're just too much. You know, choosing a puppy is a balancing act between your head, your heart, and your instincts. Now, I have a German Shepherd here who is camera shy at the moment, my Nabucco, who I adopted in March of this year. I learned about him from my contractor who was remodeling my deck in the backyard. And he said he had a client who owned a pet store, or owns a pet store, and he had a customer who came in and said, do you know anyone who's looking for or willing to adopt a German Shepherd puppy? Because it turns out that his landlord said the dog was too big and had to go. So fast forward 2 days later, and the gentleman is standing in front of my front door with the pup. And I will say, the moment that I saw that dog, I mean the moment, I knew he was mine. He was mine. He was absolutely stunning, and he's standing there so well behaved and so quiet. So I and his owner, at the time, we went for a walk because I wanted to see how he reacted on a leash, meaning the dog. Anyway, I wanted to see how the dog acted on a leash. And in talking with the owner, I learned that I was going to be the pup's 4th owner in 7 months. So think about that. So with all that said, I'm going to take you through 8 points to consider when searching for the right puppy, so that the situation of the puppy not working out or you finding yourself in over your head, so it doesn't happen to you and the pup. And so I'll leave a timestamp in the description area for each of these 8 points to help. Now, first consideration, why do you want a puppy? Really, why do you want a puppy? Why do you want a dog? Because that little puppy is not going to be a puppy forever. Do you want it for companionship? Do you want a play buddy for your kids or for another dog? Do you want it for sports? You're a sports enthusiast, whether you jog or you walk or you hunt or whatever? Or are you even looking for a pup for protection? Now, look at yourself, look at your lifestyle, your family, and your habits. And also consider whether or not there might be individuals, or there are individuals in your home who have disabilities, or they're elderly people. If you look at your situation really in its entirety, then you'll set yourself up and the puppy for success. Because remember this, the dog of your dreams may not be the right pup for you and your family at this time of your life. Now, also when adopting a puppy, I have a lot to say. I know this will be hard, but try not to be overwhelmed by cuteness or what your friends and neighbors say who have puppies, or what you've been told and what they recommend. Because remember too, this is going to be your puppy. You are going to live with it in your home, not them. Consideration number 2. How much do you want to spend on a puppy? And have that first and foremost in your mind as well as you start going through the adoption process and start your hunting. Puppies usually range from what you would pay for to a shelter or a rescue, which is roughly $300 on average, $300 to $350, to several thousands of dollars if you go to a breeder. Now, why the cost? Well, the breed of dog, for one thing, that you're interested in. Then there's the breeder, the litter of the puppies. Do they come from a champion bloodline? Are their parents champions? Are they first pick, second pick? That adds to the cost as well. And also, when you think about it, the number of breeders available and the price that you pay is a law of supply and demand in economics. The more popular the dog, obviously, the more breeders. I mean, if you're looking for an American Foxhound, good luck, because I think that's number 176 in popularity at the American Kennel Club. So if you absolutely don't know or have any idea as to what breed of dog that you're looking for, the American Kennel Club has their dogs broken out into 7 different categories. There's the toy, let's see if I can remember them all. There's the toy, there's the non-sporting, the sporting, the terrier, the working, the herding, and the hounds. And these dogs are broken into categories based upon their function as well as their heritage. And the 7 groups are universally recognized. And you should look at these groups and become familiar with them and the dogs in the groups because they all share commonalities and characteristics. And even if you're not interested in a purebred dog but choose to adopt a mixed breed, acquainting yourself with the breed characteristics is a pretty good idea because, after all, what are mixed breeds? Well, they're a combination of purebreds. Now, consideration number 3, the adult size and weight of your puppy. Another important factor. Because you know what? People forget, or they really don't realize how big the puppy is going to get. So whether you have a 500 square foot home, you have a 3,000 square foot home, or a 12,000 square foot home, think of the future puppy as volume. Now, the German Shepherds that I've owned have all been in the 85 to 100 pound range as full-size adults. And Nabucco, he's 15 months now, and he's already 85 pounds. And of course, that little shepherd that you see pictured, that was my Olympia. And Olympia, that one, the one with the little big ears, she turned into a 95 pound thigh-high road block, who I had to maneuver around anywhere I went in the house. You know, small dogs and toy dogs, they also can be a handful. And why? Well, because they get underfoot, and you can trip over them, or they get stuck under furniture. I've had that happen. Yeah, and then of course too, they can go through fences and railings, unless of course you had that little bumper collar on them. I actually learned the hard way when I had little Allegra here, who's camera shy. She loved to visit the dog next door, and she went through the fence about 3 times before I finally found a bumper that was the size that fit her. So anyway, the other thing to consider also is the fact that the size of the dog is also going to dictate cost in terms of pet beds, accessories, medicine and veterinary care, the groomer. All of that is based on size and poundage of the dog. So keep that in mind as well. Consideration number 4, activity level of the dog. You know, some breeds are happy with once a day exercise and not that much of it. And other breeds, well, they love exercise and running around. Keep in mind that no matter what, every dog needs some type of daily exercise, whether playtime with its sibling or with you or a member of your family. And this again is also important, and where your space that you have available is important. Because, you know, it's one thing if you have a sizable backyard or you go running and walking every day, but if a dog doesn't get that little bit of exercise, it becomes bored. And bored leads to mischief. Or worse, it leads to barking, which again, your neighbors are not going to appreciate. So be honest with yourself and your lifestyle that you lead, and then find the puppy that will fit into it. Now, consideration number 5, temperament. Also very important. Temperament is not a physical characteristic, nor is it a learned behavior like sit, stay, down, come. It can be probably summed up best by saying it's the personality of the puppy, and that's based on genetics, it's based on parents, grandparents, it's based on how the breeder was socializing it when it was born. In other words, how it was touched, how it was handled, how it first entered the world. And some breeds, like based on the AKC groups that I mentioned, are more rollicking and fun versus the calm and cozy. Others are more sociable and affable versus stoic and aloof. You know, a dog whose function is guarding a flock or guarding you is going to be a totally different makeup than a dog who's basically a lap warmer or companion. No matter the temperament, can they all be loving companions? Well, yes, of course, every breed. And how it's important to know that each breed of dog and how it reacts to you depends on you. You know, a breeder, a foster, a shelter worker, they can only do so much. How a dog interacts with you and other pets and family, that is in your hands, literally. For me, as a pet owner, my hands are on my pups all the time. When I pass them, I pet them. I give them, pets. I give them smooches. I talk to them. They're on my lap. They're next to me in a chair. They're by my side. Pups instinctively know how much you love them. They really do. Consideration number 6, health issues. This is another really important point to consider, which at the time of puppyhood, you really don't. You pay a little attention to it, but however, certain breeds are predisposed to health-related issues, and you should familiarize yourself with some of those breeds. For example, breeds like German Shepherds, St. Bernards, Bernese Mountain Dogs, they're known to have hip dysplasia. But hip dysplasia can also be found in smaller dogs as well. And then there are some dogs have coronary issues. There is degenerative myelopathy, which is basically the disintegration of the spinal cord. And then, of course, there's brain tumors, other tumors. Isn't this a cheerful topic? And then also, of course, the big C, cancer. And cancer is being found in more and more dogs these days. And when you own a breed that in later years is going to develop problems, that is going to need thousands of dollars worth of surgery and therapy, or therapy actually, or worse yet, has to be put to sleep, it can really make an emotional wreck out of you and your family, and not to mention your finances and family life. So when researching a breed of puppy, don't forget this important aspect. You know, I might add that while there is pet insurance available out in the marketplace today, insurance will not cover genetic disorders, nor will they cover, some of these predominant diseases in certain breeds of dogs. Okay, now on, we're almost at the end. Consideration number 7, housing restrictions and insurance. If you are renting or live in a community where there's a homeowners association, make absolutely certain before you decide on the pup and bring it home that the size, the weight, and the breed of dog is allowed. Now, my newest German Shepherd I mentioned to you, Nabucco, I adopted from the owner, as I mentioned, whose landlord told him that the dog was too big and he had to go. And I can tell you, really, that the owner, when he was saying goodbye, was in tears in front of my home. Don't let that happen to you. And then there's also insurance, but not health insurance for the pet, but that's another topic for another video. But homeowners insurance, because some insurance companies do have restrictions about what dogs they will not cover if something happens. or they may charge you a larger premium. Now, because of where I live, where there are a number of children and active adults and teenagers and other pets, I choose to carry $1 million liability policy. Now, my dogs are all trained. They're all leashed and tagged when I have them outside with me and I'm walking them. But I just like that extra bit of protection. Finally, we reached the end. Consideration number 8. And I consider these purely subjective. You want to come by my lap? Okay, this is my Allegra. This is my Ala. My Ali Wally. Okay. Number 8 is gender and coat. Oh, now you're not getting camera shy. Okay, the gender, the coat, and also the life expectancy. Now, when it comes to gender, thank you very much. Do you want a male or do you want a female? Now, from my personal experience, I have found that females are a little more protective and independent than the males. The males are a little bit more needy, but that's just me. And in terms of coat, let me tell you, do you want short coat like these guys? Or do you want a medium coat, which is considered, a German Shepherd is considered to have a medium, thicker, heavy coat. There are also, of course, long-haired dogs. So that is all dependent on you and how much shedding you can put up with. And please keep in mind that no matter what any website will tell you, dogs shed year-round. They just do. In some times of the year, it's heavier, depending on the season. Usually that's, of course, the spring and the fall. I don't know, spring, fall. Honest to God, they shed all year. They do. And so if the bottom line here, folks, is if you don't have a good vacuum, get one. And then also, in terms of the life expectancy, small breeds will live longer than larger dogs. Some, like Yorkies, Pomeranians, Westies, I mean, those little dogs can live to be, oh gosh, they could be 14 years, 18 years. Other large giant breeds like the Danes and the Bernards, they can live to 8 to 10 years. Oh, you are very kissy today. Oh, I know, I love you too. And, my 2 shepherds that I don't have with me any longer, they died this year within 2.5 months of each other. This has been a horrible year. They died at age 12 years, 3 months. That was Zarina. And my Olympia died at 12 years. I've lost Bostons around the 12-year age, and then I've lost Bostons at 5 years. So it really is what it is. So all of these points and considerations that I've mentioned in this video is the difference really between a lifetime of love and happiness for you and the dog, or it can be a lifetime of tolerating the dog. A lifetime of tolerating the dog until it dies or is surrendered or, God forbid, abandoned. So I really appreciate your sticking with me, and I urge you to visit American Kennel Club, akc.org. I'll leave the link below. And then also, too, Google specific breeds that you're interested in, and you'll probably come up with any number of breeders who would be able to help you answer some questions. Visit their websites, along with some associations like Boston Terrier of America, or Golden Retriever Club of America, German Shepherd Club of America. They're all clubs all over America because they're excellent resources about what you can learn about the various dog breeds you're interested in. So I hope I've been able to give you some help and some things to think about as you make a decision whether to adopt a puppy. And while this video series mainly centers around puppies, I will be posting other videos in the near future where I share my experience. Oh my goodness. I share my experiences in living with dogs from young adulthood all the way into seniors, and some of the things that you can expect from different points in their lives. In my next video, though, in this series, I'll be talking about question number 4, which is, have you a plan as to God, have you a plan as to who will train your puppy? If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you would like some assistance, actually, in trying to find the right puppy for your family, I'll leave a link in the description of where I can be reached, and I can offer you some one-on-one help if you're interested. Thank you for watching. And please don't click the and please forget to click the subscribe button. No, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. You're crazy.